Hey guys, what's going on? It's Brandon and Randy here, and today we're going to be putting on these Pro Taper grips on that SSR 125 hood bike. So keep watching. Hey guys, we're back, and we're working in the garage today because it is a balmy 10 to 12 degrees outside today in Chicagoland. It is freezing. It is just absolutely freezing, and today is March 3rd, so we're working in the garage. So here we go. Brandon has got his trusty utility knife, and yeah, dangerous. He's dangerous with that knife, and he's actually smiling about it. He's happy about that he's dangerous with the knife. So anyway, all right, what are we going to do first, Brandon? What are you doing?
Kind of cut off the grips and wash all the goo off the bar.
Cutting off the grips and washing off the goo sounds like an awesome plan. I don't think there's going to be any goo under that grip, but why don't you go ahead and just cut it off carefully, and always pull the knife away from you, kids at home there. Safety first. You're going to have to dig a little deeper and try not to lose a finger while we're filming, because that would be really not cool. There we go. So once you cut through those old, nasty, worn out factory SSR grips, you can literally just peel them right off, just like you're peeling a banana. Yep. And just pull that right off of there. You could even cut through the top part if you want. We're just going to cut it right off. Goodbye. Yep. Bye-bye, old grip. So one thing we're going to do before you put on the new grip, we're going to just clean off the dirt and whatever residue is on the handlebar, and we're going to use something called soapy water, which comes in a bottle. All you need to do is, you don't need any stuff called grip glue or any of that special chemicals to put on grips. All you need is a regular spray bottle with a little bit of dishwashing liquid and some water, aka soapy water, and he's just going to spray that handlebar a little bit and then wipe it with a clean cloth to get the residue off of it. That's all you got to do. It's really not much on there to begin with. Not a big deal. It looks really clean. Okay, so when you're putting on grips on the bike, they're actually sized differently for the left and the right handlebar. So the one on the left actually has a little bit smaller hole than the one on the right, because the one on the right has to fit over the throttle. So right now we're going to use a smaller grip, and we're going to go ahead and put it on the handlebar. But first, we're just going to spray up the handlebar and spray a little bit of soapy water inside that grip before we put it on, to make it go on nice and easy. So he's just going to spray down the handlebar a little bit. He's trying not to spray the kill switch on there. And you could spray a good amount in the grip. It doesn't matter. That's good. Spray the handlebar a little bit more. And just kind of wipe it around with your hand to make sure it's wet all over there. It should be fine. That's good. And then he's just going to take the grip and start to push it on from the base. Like that. It's a little tough just to get it on there at first, but then it should slide right on there. And then you can just kind of twist it as you put it on. Make sure it's nice and wet. And there it goes. Push it all the way up till it stops. And you can see where it's not going to go anymore. That's where you're going to want to stop. And you can see right on the end. You can almost see the handlebar. If you push it too far, it's going to want to protrude right off the end of the grip, so you don't want to go that far. You don't want to put a hole in your new grip. Now, I did mention something about the grip glue. I don't want to say you don't need to use grip glue. If you want to use grip glue, you can. We're using soapy water because, this thing is not going to be motocrossing. We're not going over 10-foot jumps, flying through the air 30, 60 feet. No, we're just riding these around on the street, and we're doing some light trail riding. So if you don't want to buy grip glue, if you're just doing some light riding, you really don't need to. Once the soapy water dries out, these things are on there like permanently until you cut them off. So don't worry about that. So now we're going to start on the throttle side grip. And with this one, you have to be a little bit more careful because underneath this grip is a plastic throttle assembly. So you don't want to cut through it. So we're going to start right over by the reservoir side and slowly, carefully cut through the grip until you're just barely down to that throttle assembly. And then as you're cutting, he's going to just pull up on the grip a little bit to keep the grip away from cutting through the plastic throttle assembly. So we're just going to start slowly cutting through there. You'll feel it when you hit the plastic throttle assembly, and then he's just going to start to be real gentle and pull back on the grip to keep it away from that assembly. We don't want to cut it, and it's really not a problem. Just right through it, and that's it. And again, just peel it right off just like a banana. So here you can see this is how it looks underneath there. And it's really hard plastic, so even if you hit it with the blade lightly, it's really not going to do anything. And now we're going to do the same procedure with this side that we did with the other side. Okay, so for the throttle side, we're just going to spray it just like we did the other side. This one really doesn't have any residue on it at all, so we don't really need to clean it. You want to tip the handlebar down a little bit so you don't get water into the throttle cable assembly, because we want that to stay working nice and smoothly. And then we're just going to go ahead and spray the inside of that grip just like we did the other grip. We're going to fill that grip with water. I think Brandon's already sprayed it.
Yeah.
And we're going to go ahead and start to put this one on the same way. This one's a little bit tougher. Just start by sliding it on the end there. Go ahead and get that on there. Getting it started is a little bit of a pain in the butt. So we'll come over here at a better angle so you guys can see. But once you get it get it started, it should just slide right on there. It's a little bit tough getting it started. You could actually hold the handlebar by the grip itself to get it started on there. This one we're not going to twist it on because this one has this throttle assembly. I don't know if you can see the detail on it, but it actually has ridges on it like a Ruffles potato chip. So you don't want to twist it. We're going to try and push this one straight on, and it should go right on. Just kind of, yeah, just like that. Straight on, and then you could push from the back of the grip as well. Just kind of get it on there. If you need to twist it, you could kind of twist it forward, but I think it's just going to need to be pushed straight on there. Okay, and there you go. There's the new grip on there. I'll be honest with you, this one was a real pain in the butt to get on. It does not go on as smoothly as the other side. The other side, because you're pushing on at least on these bikes, you know, it's a metal bar on the other side, and on this side, it's that ridged, almost has like a, I don't know why, but kind of a serrated, jagged texture on it, which makes it really difficult to put on these bikes. So be sure when you're putting these on to put on plenty of soapy water in there so it slides real easy. You might want to use, make sure when you're mixing that soapy water solution that you use plenty of soap, or else it's not gonna lubricate it enough. It's gonna have a problem with it. So you could also see that this grip is a little bit slightly shorter than the factory grip. So you might see a little bit of a gap there, but don't worry about it. There's really not much you can do about that, and it's completely not a big deal. So another thing we're doing today, guys, we're going to put in an NGK spark plug And people have asked before, what NGK spark plug are you using in your pit bikes? Well, we are using NGK model number
DPR8EA9.
That's a DPR8EA9. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so why don't you go ahead and replace that. We've already taken out the old one. We're going to just pop the new one in there. And it's a direct replacement for the factory SSR 125 spark plug that comes in it. So by putting in the NGK spark plug, this actually makes your pit bike JDM, because the spark plug comes from Japan as opposed to the Chinese spark plug. And you don't want to torque it too much. You see he just barely, once the plug was seated, he just gave it another, quarter to a half a turn barely, and that's it. And you're done, and that's it. And now you've got an official JDM pit bike because you have an NGK spark plug. No, not really, but it's still pretty cool, and it gives you better performance than that factory Chinese spark plug. Alright, so now we're going to fire it up with the NGK plug in it, see how it goes. Problem with Brendan getting so tall here, he's like 5'11", doesn't even fit in the camera frame anymore, so I'm going to have to get a bigger camera. Almost. Come on. Sounds good to me. What do you say, Brando?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Too bad it's freezing out here. We can't go for a ride. Take these things off for 2 seconds and your whole face turns into a freaking icicle. But anyway, guys, hope you liked the video. Go ahead and get yourself an NGK plug. Get yourself some Pro Taper grips. And have at it. So, as always, guys, thanks for watching. And we'll talk to you next time. Take care.